Welcome back to the Sam Houston Sports Talk Podcast. Collin, Neill, live in the outdoor patio of the domicile I currently reside, and Luke Scott still in his college apartment. You got to grow up, Luke. You got to get out of there, man.
Collin, I've tried. I have been in, this is my, I think, third location filming a podcast.
Yes.
So far. So, I'm trying, but sometimes you got to come back to Huntsville. I move out in a month, so.
Yeah, you graduate soon, so. Yeah.
Still unemployed.
Hey, I feel you on that, man. I feel you on that. All right, let's not get in our feels to start the pod. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and get started, man. We had a lot going on these past couple of days. We're currently filming at 11:13 p.m. on a Friday night, and we just had a lot going on, Luke. So let's go ahead and, before we get started, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Sam Houston Sports Talk Podcast. Follow us on all of our social media outlets where you can keep up to date on all things Sam Houston Sports Talk. Follow us on our personal social media as well. We post other stuff besides Sam Houston. I mean, I don't know if y'all know, but Luke is a retired online menace.
I was a Twitter menace there for a good, 2-3 years. Retired, started to come back, but I just don't have it in me anymore. Sometimes, when a horse is a race horse and he just doesn't have it anymore, he goes and retires in the countryside. The good ones pump out more horses. Me, I can't do that. I'm here talking to you now.
I thought you were going to go another route after horses are retired.
I was talking about politics last night not really. I was just talking about the golf, which was awesome.
Oh, no.
2 nights ago.
Yeah. No. Well, while this country is talking about, the presidential debate, we talk about Sam Houston sports right here. Right. And yeah, so we're going to get into
what people care about.
Yeah. The millions
and millions
of Sam Houston fans around the world.
I almost missed that cue. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. But we're gonna get into a lot here. This episode, we're gonna talk about the latest BSN Xtra Podcast from Sam Houston Athletics. Bobby Williams visited in, and he gave some thoughts. He said a lot about facilities. We'll get into that. And a Bearcat baseball player adds to his legendary resume. We'll get to that. Basketball, more scheduling news and how they're making a lot of dough this upcoming season. And to end it off, we're going to talk about some branding. We'll explain later when we get to that segment of the podcast. But first, Luke, let's go ahead and talk about the BSN Xtra Podcast that Bobby Williams was featured on. It was the beginning. Did not realize that they have done it for that long, 7 seasons. That's it's a good thing that they are doing that from athletics. I produced quite a few episodes last year, especially with the Cat's Eye podcast with Jalen Phillips and Lewis Rowe whenever I was working at athletics.
Great podcast.
Yeah, great
listen
podcast.
Always.
Oh, of course. But Bobby Williams talked about facilities in that podcast, amongst other things. If y'all want to know if y'all want to take a listen, y'all can listen to yourselves. But there are some things that we noticed throughout that podcast that we are going to discuss right here on the Sam Houston Sports Talk Podcast. First off, Luke, when it comes to the facilities, the tennis facility, Bobby Williams quoted saying it is at 95% substantial completion. I don't know what substantial completion means, but we're going to roll with it. All that is waiting on is the parking lot to be finished and the stands to be implemented. The ETA is August. Luke, you were a tennis player for 4 years. I'm going to let you have the floor on this one.
Yeah. Well, I went by the complex actually today on campus. Went by it. The parking lot was still under construction, although there were lines paved, 4 parking spaces. It looked pretty good. My big thing was that there's only 6 courts. And in college tennis, a lot of people don't know because it's a very niche type market, if you would, or if you will. The layout, right? You get 3 doubles matches. The winner of best of 3 gets a single point, and then it's the race to 4 points after that overall. And there's 6 singles matches. So there's 6 courts, which is enough, barely. My thing is that you look at a lot of these new complexes that have been built in recent memory. When you look at only a couple hours or an hour away, right? In College Station, A&M. A&M has a brand new complex, 8 courts. It's a very nice. It's 8 or might be 12. Might be 12. Courts, all together. Has a grandstands in between. It's a very nice complex. Texas, Baylor, Houston, Tech, all these places. Some actually have indoor as well, courts, but it's very, very nice. I like the start of what's coming along. The courts, the look, it has a US Open type look with the blue and the green. If you would, the white line. I really like the look of it. But my thing, Colin, is that it's sitting there next to the newly acquired apartments, now dorms for Sam Houston. Colin, there's still construction yet to be made, and they talked about the stands on the podcast. But Colin, in those stands, they're going to be looking directly, depending on what time of the day, right? The sun. Colin, they're going to have to figure out a way to put up a couple of canopies to keep people from absolutely just overheating out there. You're on straight concrete out there, and if there's any tennis players listening, we all know the heat. Actually, anyone that's been on concrete ever, we all know what the heat does to you standing on that. I mean, it amplifies it quite amount. And if you're out there sitting watching tennis, I play tennis. I can't really watch tennis. A little boring for me. Although I love playing it, can't really watch it. But there's still much that needs to be done there. The 95%, I think, is a little bit of an understatement from Bobby. Probably should be 75% because Colin, there's not even bathrooms out there. I mean,
So
where the players?
I am curious. Are they? I don't know if they are. I don't know. I've never heard anything about locker rooms or anything like that. I don't know if you have.
Colin, they got to have locker rooms. I mean, where else? I mean, the team right now. Where is the team? It's not in the Coliseum, is it?
I have no. I think it's in the field house.
It's in the field house. Well,
I
that's.
I think I think I may be wrong. I honestly have no idea.
I mean, it's obviously it's
Oh no
weird.
no no oh no. It's at the so it's Wood Forest.
Oh,
There's
right
a
next to the office.
Yeah, it's the tennis and bowling suite. It's right by the compliance office.
Yeah, so it's not really. I mean, it's near it, but not really. I mean, you can't walk it. Colin, that's an issue. Uh, Players, fans, opposition, coaches, everyone needs a place to go to the bathroom. I don't know what they're going to do. If they're just going to set up porta johns out there for the time being, but to have a brand new tennis facility, calling their courts. I mean, it's good. They're new courts, and but there needs to be more that comes to it.
Yeah, I can't.
Maybe a few trees around.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I mean, I I am curious to see what if they're gonna add on to it. Like if they're
There's not much room.
yeah. I mean,
On right behind it, you have the I should say due south of it, you have the apartments right there. It pretty much backs up right to it. There's just one little road that goes between it, and it's fire lane all the way, both sides down. That's why I drove down and get some pictures. There's not much expansion to be there, and there's not much expansion to be the other way because then you run into Bowers. Uh, uh, the actual road, not the stadium, but the road, Bowers. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Either they do expand into the field house where they are now. I don't know, but they gotta have some bathrooms or something out there.
I guess we'll see. I don't know that like the they got $1 million donation, and then they got 2 point something million dollars from the school in order to complete it, that's over $3 million. I think that's more than enough to build. I mean, I'm not a expert whatsoever on construction finances, but I feel like that would be enough. I mean, so far what they put down is a parking lot and 6 tennis courts.
Yeah, and all the fencing
Yeah, the
that goes
fencing.
around it, and concrete is expensive, and surfacing it, like, that all takes time. I get that. But my thing is that if there's no bathrooms out there, the teams have to be there. The fans aren't going to be there, Colin, if there's nowhere to take a piss. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
where are you going to go? I
I
mean,
guess
we're
Porter.
surrounded. You got dorms on one side, you get the road on the other side.
Hey, I guess Porter Johns or Falcos.
Does Falcos have a bathroom?
I don't know. I've never been inside
I
Falcos.
honestly, I can't remember the last time I was, probably freshman year.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of construction things, Luke, it is until we see. It's wait until we see. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you mentioned Bowers. Let's go to Bowers, the stadium, not the road. I mean, it is on the road, but you get the point. Bobby talked about the press box project. In an article released by a good friend of ours, Colton Foster at the Huntsville Item. It is going to be a 2-year project, so that's pretty much expected. But they ran into some problems. The ramps were not up to code. They had some ADA compliance issues, it seemed like, with how the layout is right now. There's right now paperwork that Bobby mentioned that has to be submitted to the board in August. And when it comes to the press box, the groundbreaking will be after the last game, and they will also probably be able to start on some things that relate to the press box sooner, before the last game of the season, which last game is against Liberty on November 29th. And the substantial completion date is 5/29/2026, which is what Bobby was given, which is his birthday, apparently. So, but obviously, Luke, we said it a couple times on this podcast, things get delayed. And to kind of just pair these things together, because people were wondering, well, where are you going to put the track at? Well, they're going to build a facility. I thought at first they weren't going to build a facility. I thought they were just going to put a track somewhere and just go ahead and go crazy, but they are going to build a facility. It's down to 2 locations at the moment. It will be an accelerated design, and finally, track will just be in a quote unquote temporary situation, location wise, for this upcoming athletic year.
Yeah, that's kind of the question that a lot of people have voiced their thoughts on, Colin. I've been kind of thinking on where they could go. Obviously, Huntsville High School is probably the most obvious candidate. They just built themselves a brand new stadium, track. I mean, they have a lot of new stuff there at the complex. I don't know if that's going to work due to like NCAA requirements. I don't know. It's pretty nice, but it's actually very nice.
It is very nice.
You could go down to Conroe.
Yeah, but
Woodforce,
Connor wouldn't be feasible. Woodforce, it just wouldn't be feasible.
right? Because they got to go up there all the time for practice. All the equipment has to go there, and we're talking hurdles. We're talking so many different mats. We're talking a lot of different things there. Colin, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where they would build it. And we were talking about it, Colin. You think that track that's right there next to Pritchett Field, you think that could be the spot?
Well, I heard that's owned by the city, so Sam Houston would have to buy that from the city. I don't know how much that would cost, but it would be a good spot because you have Pritchett Field, like you said, already right there, And there is some spots around that area where there is some space where you can put a facility right there. And that facility could be used for both track and soccer. Boom. Soccer does not have to go to the Coliseum to change, shower after games, or get ready for games and have to drive all the way to Pritchett Field and all that. And track is close to the school still. I think that is a very, very easy, plausible solution. You and I talked about it as well many times off the air, and back when I was still going to school. I mean, you're still going to school, but before we had this. So I think that's something that hopefully they are exploring. They said 2 locations. I don't know where else besides that spot right there where they would put it, where it'd be feasible enough to not only host it, but also be feasible for the student athletes.
See, so Collin, this is the best thing and the worst thing about this BSN Xtra podcast with Bobby Williams, right? This is the best and worst thing. The best thing is that you get to know what's kind of going in through the mind and what's kind of in the plans for the entire athletic department. That's a great thing. It's transparency. The bad thing is that it didn't tell you anything. He had two different locations in mind for the complex. Well, could you say it? Or is that, out of bounds? Depending on where they are, my thought process is that, Collin, they already took the track out of Bowers, right? So I'm assuming, okay, they definitely have a spot where they can go for this year. But then they don't release anything. So maybe I don't think they do. I don't know. The best thing, though, about that spot, Collin, is that you could really create a cool joint location, track and field and soccer together, where neither share, a field or track. They are both separate. You have Pritchett over here, and you have, say whatever it'd be called there, right? Track field, whatever you want to call it. But they would join probably in the middle or the outside. There's already some parking there. I would assume that the more it's going on, there's construction next to it. And I'm in Huntsville right now, and obviously we're filming this right now. I'm probably gonna go tomorrow because it's so bugging me to figure out what that construction is on Avenue O, right there next to it. But Collin, there's already a set of land that is there. It's feasible for you. There's a track on it already. You already know it's big enough to have a track, right? That's the good thing. Now, I don't know all the requirements that has to go in for the NCAA. I don't know if you do. I don't know if anyone does. I mean, I don't know if anyone really keeps up on NCAA track facility standards. Good for you if you don't, or if you do. But I think there's real potential right there. Pritchett needs renovating. And it's a way to keep a historic landmark, historic venue for Sam Houston, for Huntsville, still in the community, still operating, and still having eyes on it.
Yeah, it now has the old academic logo on it at Pritchett. It is rec sports. So I think athletics I don't know how that's going to work now, because you're going to have an outdated logo on the field now, and that's going to be 2 venues where there's an outdated logo on the field. Pritchett and the Dawn.
We talked about it last podcast. Athletics has to get that in order. Getting ownership of all of that. Because then you're handcuffed.
And when it comes to the press box project, Luke, personally for me, I don't think May 2026 is going to happen. I think it's going to be a little later on. I think it's going to be right before the football season starts for 2026.
Maybe. Collin, the general public doesn't know about that press box, but we do. Collin, it's old.
It's old. It desperately needs a lot of changes.
It's run down. I snuck into the suite. The suite's okay, but
Oh,
you
you've
can
snuck
see
in
the
there.
age.
You've
I have.
snuck in there.
Oh, if they leave the door open, is it really sneaking in there? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
But no, I think they had it open for a Huntsville something, and I just kind of went into it. I was like, well, let's see what this is all about. But anyways, um, one elevator that goes up and down. You talk about slow, Collin. That itself to get fixed would be awesome. But there, I mean, inside it's old, it's run down. The ceiling breaks apart. Feels like the walls are crumbling down. Not really, but it's just really, really run down. And it's something that you look at all these programs, right? Middle Tennessee, for example, they're posting on social media all the updates that they're doing right now on the scoreboard, all around their complex, right? All athletics. Not much has been going on with the press box. I know we just got a video with the field, but the press box is its own issue. And that's also goes down there where the concourse is, and the concessions are all down there, all open air. Um, there's just a lot of work that has to go into it. I don't know if that timetable is accurate. I mean, you're projecting, right? 2 years. Things can go wrong, things can go right. It can get ahead, it can fall behind really, really quickly. I just don't know, Collin, if that 2026 timetable is accurate. There's a lot of work to be done there. But I'm glad they're talking about it. I'm glad they're talking about it.
And that there is indication there's it's feels 100% at this point that it is indeed going to happen. And they are going to play around the construction. They're not going to go to another place, which I think I think if that's the best way to put it. I don't think playing at another place, you just kind of made the motion right there. I just don't think cost effective wise it'd be a good idea. Would it be more convenient maybe for like fans and all that, and not have to play around the construction? But Jacksonville State has to play around construction still, I believe, up this upcoming season, because they were building. I forgot what they were building out there, but they played around it. They found a way to do it, and the Middle Tennessee is probably still going to have to play around construction when their season starts. I mean, it's on their Twitter account if y'all are ever curious of what they posted. But what they actually posted were pictures, some really cool pictures, I shall say, and they released an article detailing almost everything.
Yeah, it gives you a timetable. It gives you what exactly they're doing, what the plans are, renderings. Collin, all the Sam Houston social media team gave out was a retro looking. I don't know what that was. I mean, it looked like it was Nokia. Collin, people said that. It was like, is this being filmed on a Nokia? What is this?
Someone said, I didn't know Nokia phones had cameras.
A BlackBerry. You know what I'm saying?
A BlackBerry. Oh my gosh, man. I'm 23 years old. But I remember Blackberries. I've used them before, man.
But that's the main difference. I think part of that is experience. That Middle Tennessee's been in the FBS scene for a long time now, Murfreesboro. But I'm thinking about schools that have renovated football stadiums in the past, like recently, that have played around it. In the state of Texas, A&M and University of Texas, UT, has both renovated their their whole entire stadium, right? And they play in it during the same time. Those are the biggest schools in the state, two of the biggest schools in the country, UT being probably a top 3 or 4 biggest school, and A&M in the top 15, 20, right? And that's student enrollment, population, money, that's everything, right? Collin, it just doesn't make financial sense for Sam Houston to go play somewhere else. That means we're spending money to go play somewhere else They probably can't film. I'm sure some TV rights have to come into this as well, because places like that have to have places for cameras, different spots, the attendance. Fans will just have to deal with the construction. I don't know what the media is going to do, especially when that press box is under construction. I don't know, because that'll be itself an issue. But I just hope that there is a student media section there, in the press box. Collin, we have called games, not only outside the press box. We've been on top of the press box in the visiting side, watching a game calling a game directly into the sun. I've been in the visitors press box, had to get to call a game once, but never our own. And I never will, because I won't be a student. But
yeah,
just for the life, just to keep it going.
Yeah, and it just in the press box in general just needs to be bigger for general media. So
Riders are cramped. Riders are super cramped in there.
Yeah. And especially if scouts were going to sit up there as well.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes scouters and scouts and writers, journalists, they do share a common space, but usually they don't have to share one desk. That's how it is. I mean, it's tough scenes in there.
Yeah. Man, we went on a tangent, but we are going to go on another tangent later. It's gonna probably get a little spicy.
Maybe.
But yeah.
I
But
don't think it'll be that.
I probably won't be. But yeah, that's all we know so far on the facilities overall in the when it comes to all these Bearcat athletics facilities. There was this, I was gonna under the comments under that video that they posted on with the field. Someone asked where are we gonna have the new track, and someone, I don't know if this is reliable or not, but Bearcat 80 Mustang 65, take that wherever we want.
Nice.
Says reportedly where Holloman Field is/was near I-45. Which that's rec sports. I don't think that's a whole nother headache that you would have to go through. But where the new Holloman Field is.
Well, I guess technically that is on campus if Holloman Field. I mean, it's rec sports, so that could work. But I mean, they just re-turfed that.
Exactly, that's my point.
So the university would be like, what the heck? I mean, we just spent a bunch of money to re-turf it. For rec sports, and then athletics buys it. I mean, to me, that's a lot of lost money right there.
Yeah, I still think near the soccer field could be the best option. Buying that track, buying that property from the city, and and hey, maybe it would not start, but like that could be trying to build a good, like build on a relationship with the city, because you need to get because you need to get along with the city as a university.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I'm thinking, if you put up, well, I don't know, there might be some deals with it's subdivision or not it's houses all around that area, so you might have to deal with.
Oh yeah, that is true.
In that.
Yeah, that is true. That is a good point.
I mean, anything like water lines, anything like that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But hopefully
it's going to be interesting to see where they actually put it. Yeah. I think it's a good spot, but I mean, I don't know all the city logistics behind.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, and I totally forgot to think about that. The subdivision, what if you have like a late event there, and everyone's trying to go to sleep?
Yeah, city ordinances or whatever it's.
Yeah.
Not ordinances. What is it? Maybe that's it. I don't know.
That could be it now. But we'll know more for sure. Everyone will officially and publicly, hopefully in a few months before the football season starts, when they get the turf down, which they're still planning on getting that turf down before fall practices begin. So we'll see. let's now bounce to our next segment. And I'm going to kind of monologue this a little bit. I'm not really a good monologuer. I'm not really a good talker to begin with, but I'll try my best.
Oh, you're not that bad, dude.
I could be better. For 3 years, Sam Houston has witnessed greatness. If you ever been out to the Dawn on on a spring day, whether winter was ending in February, spring, March, May, April, whatever you could be doing. If you ever went out to a weekend at the Dawn, you saw something great. You saw Walker Janek, a kid from Portland, Texas, which is down south outside of Corpus Christi. Yeah, you probably had no idea Portland, Texas even existed. Well, guess what? That kid from Portland, Texas just won one of the greatest awards in baseball, the Buster Posey Award for the best catcher in college baseball this past season. Walker Janek won it, and he just adds on to his legendary resume. Luke, just greatness is all I can say is what we witnessed.
Great, greatness, exciting, all around complete baseball player. I mean, you talk about a guy that not only could hit for contact, hit for power, but also defensively, really responsible, great, behind the plate, really commanding defense, and that sort. Collin Walker Janek, outside of Cowser, probably the second best player we've had in the past 20 years.
I mean, you could throw in
maybe the best player. I mean, most decorated. Yes. I mean, this is a guy that's going to be. You're going to be watching this guy on MLB primetime for the next 15 years.
Of course, he has to make it to the show first, but I'm pretty confident he will make it to the show. If he is going to be a first round pick this year, which he is projected to be still, it'll be late in the first round, but it's still the first round. That's where a lot of the money is in the first place. Or a team could possibly try to reach for him in the top 20. You never know what teams actually want. And
Yeah.
Walker Janek cemented himself as the best catcher in this draft. And you said it before, Luke, and I'll repeat this. It's an immeasurable value to have a great catcher in your organization.
Collin, it's the quarterback of the defense. It's the only player that sees everything that happens on the field outside the center fielder, maybe. He's involved, touches the ball nearly every at bat. Rarely just because of a first pitch, swing and hit. But I mean, this is a guy that's I don't know if he's a franchise resetter. I don't know about that. I mean, that's one of your Rutschmans. Who else is a really good like a Salvador Perez? Like that's the type of guy. But this guy is going to be one of the most serviceable players you could ask for any team. I don't really know what his major weakness is, but I think that's the beauty of him is that he's a really just complete ball player.
Yeah, and the weaknesses that he had, one of the weaknesses that I could see was breaking balls low and away. I mean, there were some at-bats where all the pitcher threw was sliders, low and away, or just outside in general to the right-handed hitter. But he improved on that this year, and I was happy to see that because having discipline as a catcher like that is just a huge bonus because catching – all you're asked for at first is just be a great defender behind the plate, but to be able to have a really good bat as well, man, it's for a team that needs offense at the same time as having great defense behind the plate. It is such a huge plus.
Collin, look at the Rangers this past year. I
Jonah
mean, it's
Heim.
easy for me to say, but Jonah Heim was one of the best catchers. Not only defensively, he was great defensively. Collin, he was a top 5 catcher in a lot of hitting stats. Uh, you know, and you look at the opposite. I'm gonna kind of dog on you for a little bit. I mean, look at the Astros there with Maldonado. I
Hey,
mean,
you're not really dogging on me. You know my opinion on that. You
hey,
know my opinion on that.
that ex leadership, ex veteranship. What is it?
I got another one. X scouting,
Ex
X preparation.
ex preparation. Colin, those stats are invaluable. No, but seriously, I mean, imagine, right, if you had a Yanier Diaz throughout that 2017, or when did he come on, 2019?
He came on in 2022.
No, 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 no.
2022.
No, Maldonado.
Oh, Maldonado came in 19.
So imagine if you had through 19, right? And all the way up, you had a guy like a Yanier Diaz or like a Jonah Heim, something like that.
To be fair, Maldonado was a good defender in his own right at some point until this past year.
He was, but would you rather have a great defender and an awful hitter? Or would you have a really good defender and a good hitter?
I like the best of both worlds, so give me the latter.
Me too. Me too.
And that's what
Young's going to give.
Yeah, that's what Yannick's absolutely going to give to any organization that he's going to go to. Mock drafts keep saying that he's going to go to the Braves, the Rangers, the Astros, or some other team probably is going to reach for him. We'll see. I hope he stays in Texas, even if it's with the Rangers.
I hope he goes to a good, well-run organization
where he can develop properly.
So anywhere besides the Mets. Just kidding.
Man, random shot right there. Random shot right there.
The Mets, they're so bad.
Yeah. Well, they're good now because Grimace threw out the first pitch.
Oh.
At one time.
I mean, honestly, I just don't want him to go to like the Rockies.
Oh, man.
The Blue Jays, that would suck to go to Toronto. Yeah. Canadians. No offense to Canadians. It's more of just Canada. The Mets. What else would be an awful landing spot for Yannick?
The Angels.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. You know, the Padres wouldn't be too bad.
No, that they do. They do have a 17-year-old, 18-year-old catcher in their system that's really freaking good.
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
I don't remember the name, but I just remember he was in spring training this past spring training with the Padres.
Okay,
listen,
I give it to you.
Yeah, God, I'm not going to remember his name. I don't feel like looking it up right now, but I just know that for sure. He's 17. This dude was 16 years old last year, and he was hitting in single A or something like that.
Wow.
This dude's 16. The dude was 16, and he was playing pro ball already.
I mean, at that point, you don't even have a body yet.
You're not even fully grown yet.
No, he probably. How? Hold on. You're 16. I guess I was still 5'11" at that point. I don't know. I was a really slow. I'm not sure. I was a slow grower. Like I just kind of kept going and inching up along and along and along. I finally kind of stopped, but I don't know. I mean, 16 years old. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, guys are throwing what, 90 something? Easily.
The average fastball right now in Major League Baseball is 94 miles an hour.
What's it in AA?
I have no idea. I don't have the data.
90, at least high 80s, right?
Yeah, and then you have some Dominican that throws 100 miles an hour, no problem.
That's right. Hey, nothing's more American than watching 9 Dominicans play baseball, man.
Yeah, how about you leave it down in the comments? Who do you think said that quote? I bet y'all will never guess it. Do you know who it is, Luke?
I have no idea. I think I did just like saw it one time. I thought it was hilarious.
I'll give you a hint. He said a very nice thing about San Francisco as an anchor. Also known for his mustache. Anchor. He played an anchor. He was an actor, but he played an anchor in San Francisco.
Oh.
I'm not. Don't say it. We're gonna have to let the people in the comments try to think of who that is, but I gave y'all a pretty damn good hint.
Yeah,
So
pretty good.
well, yeah. And hey, speaking of great things, which the movie that I'm referencing to is a great movie. Speaking of great things, basketball. Wow.
Nice.
Luke, Mudge Madness is real. And here's one of the reasons why. The scheduling is been really good on his part. Sam Houston is projected to make, with a guaranteed, not projected, guaranteed from the games that have been confirmed, $270,000 in buy games. Nevada, that's going to be November 4th, 80,000. Baylor, I believe that's November 12th, 90,000. And just recently announced, Sam Houston men's basketball will be going to Indiana to face the Hoosiers inside one of the most historic stadiums and a historic program. And they will get $100,000. Along with other great games they have going on against a really good Tarleton State. Yes, in the WAC, but they've been getting better every year. Lamar is on the up and up. And then you have Pacific, which is West Coast, but no disrespect, not a good team. And then you still have that game against SFA. Luke, this non-conference schedule that Sam Houston men's basketball has put together so far. Oh, also, you're going to go up north and face three good teams: UNC Wilmington, Colgate, and App State. Three really good mid-majors. Luke, This non-con is going to be epic.
It's a fun one. Because I believe that Wilmington, those three games, that'll be a tournament.
It's like an invitational or something like that.
Yeah. That's always good to be involved in those. And I think you've seen coaches, media have taken notice to Sam Houston in the past few years, really, progressing and maybe attracting a few eyes. In previous years, not trying to dog Coach Hooten. Coach Hooten was great. Always will love him. But we weren't playing Indiana. That probably be on national TV.
Big Ten Network or potentially
Big
Fox
Ten
Sports.
Network. It could be an FS1, FS2, anything, right? Maybe Fox, probably not Fox, but
not the main network, but
no, not Fox, not channel, whatever it is. You look at really Indiana. I mean, this is a historic program, and in recent years, of course, they've been in the tournament a good amount. They've also been a bubble team that the whole college basketball world talks about it. Collin, we both love college basketball. It's probably my favorite sport to watch, to cover, to just be a fan of, to attend. So fun. Assembly Hall, Collin. I mean, this is one of the top venues in college basketball in North America, right? To see Sam Houston get to play there on national TV, presumed, that's going to be a really big deal. That's a tournament team. I mean, I think they were a 4 or 5 seed last year. Mike Woodson, he coached the Knicks. He's the coach of them. Then you look at Baylor. I mean, Baylor won the national championship in 2020. They just built themselves a brand new gymnasium. Brand new. It looks awesome. They've been great there. They have great teams. They've been recruiting well. That's going to be great for Sam Houston to watch, see that and watch that and play against that. Nevada's been a great Mountain West team. Collin, we loved the Mountain West last year. We talked about it all the time on Behind the Mic show there on 9.5. How fun was Nevada last year? I mean, this is a great non-conference.
Every team in the Mountain West was fun. Well, except for the Air Force.
Yeah, Air Force sucked. But they were good in football, though. They were really good football.
Yeah.
They still rock the option a little bit.
Yeah, you can't run the option. You can't run the option on the hardwood.
No. But if you could, I would. Anyways. But no, this non-conference is really good. And you talk about Tarleton, Lamar. These are in-state foes that recruits. You're targeting similar recruits people are looking at you the same, right? Sam Houston, beats both of them. What does that tell recruits? Hey, Sam Houston's good. Sam Houston's better than these guys. If you can be that top mid-major program in the state of Texas, why couldn't Sam Houston not be that? Because now Houston's up to the Big 12. In recency, SFA's kind of going down. Sam Houston on the way up. I mean, this is a program that could really be the top mid-major in the second biggest state in the U.S.
I don't think it's going to be possible for Sam Houston to be ranked on the polls because of how many great teams there are still coming up in this season. I mean, the only way I could see that happening is that if they do an Indiana State where they go undefeated most of the year. I think you can take at least one of the three big ones, Nevada, Baylor, and Indiana. You can take one of those three. I think you could but I think you can compete in all of them. I think they can just take one, and I'd be happy with that. I mean, $270,000 in buy game money is a big deal for a program like Sam Houston.
It is. And you know what? Yeah, you talked about it. Of course, Indiana's recruiting. I think Indiana has one of the top 10 or 12 classes coming in this year. That's going to be tough. My eyes really circle at that Nevada game up in Reno. We played them a few years ago, not last year, but the year before.
2022.
It was a really close game, and it just kind of got away from us then. Of course, that was one of the great teams. That was with Quay Grant, but with how this program has been able to, not just retool and reload every year, but this coaching staff, these recruits we've gotten in, the transfers that have came, we both really like kind of where we're going, and to see Sam Houston playing these big teams, these big state schools, right? Years ago, you wouldn't have seen that. Yeah, we'd play Texas and we'd play Tech, but that's in state. We're going out of state, that's a big deal.
It is a really big deal, and playing these premier college basketball schools. We've already said it. I will say though, I do kind of want to go to that Baylor game. I want to see that new. Field field house, or do they call it a field house, or
yeah, I think it is. It's right there on the river, on the Brazos River.
Yeah.
But I saw a thing. Well, Indiana has been putting out NBA guys for a long time now. Nevada had the Martin twins that came out recently. They've been both pretty serviceable in the NBA. Both have been to an NBA Finals, I think, for the Miami Heat. They both played on that team, I think. Baylor has the most top 19 pick. It's like most first, something like that in the past decade in the Big 12.
National champions a few years ago.
Yeah, these are schools these are huge. These are really, really big. I'm not saying Sam Houston has to win one. I think they could, though. I really think they could, and I believe in this coaching staff.
Yeah, and I think they're fielding one of the deepest rosters that the program has ever seen. Probably the deepest roster, because you got dogs everywhere on that team. And we'll further discuss that in a future podcast as basketball season gets closer. It's going to be here before we know it. To touch on football real quick, we had some staffing updates. Running backs coach John Johnson is now the assistant head coach. Collin Carlin's no longer here. Clayton Collin, he's no longer with the program. It's now John Johnson is going to be the assistant head coach, along with still being the running backs coach. New recruiting operations manager or director Kendall McDade, who was previously at East Carolina after Darcy Daughtery, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Apologies if I mispronounced it, but she went to Kansas. So, Luke, I kind of want to touch on this real quick before we get to our last segment. This is probably going to be our longest pod ever at this point, but hey,
This is our latest pod for sure.
Yeah, it's 12:03 a.m. Saturday night. It's officially Sam Houston Sports Talk Podcast After Dark.
That's when you need the live chat. That's when we need the live chat. And we're both sitting here. You're drinking your energy drink, and I'm got my water. Sitting here and just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been up. I woke up Friday morning at 11:30 a.m. So I was pretty jazzed up anyway. That's just to get the heart pumping going, because I always love doing these podcasts with you, Luke. If you haven't already, be sure you subscribe to the Sam Houston Sports Talk Podcast and follow us on all of our social media outlets. We're at 29 subscribers, by the way, at this time that we're recording, and thank you all for subscribing. Let's keep getting that number up. Let's see how far we can get it up before football season starts. But once again, everyone, we really, really appreciate it. I didn't think we would get this much support, but Luke, I really love what we're getting.
Hey, it's all credit to you, Collin. You're the main guy in all this. You are you're everything to it. I'm just here just talking to you. But you know what? We do have good fans.
Yeah, we do. We do.
But I think we could get 100 subscribers before football season.
Ooh, 100 subscribers for football season?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, we're in what?
We're 29.
We're fixing to hit July, right? So, yeah.
We're at 29 currently on June 29th. Hey, it could be possible.
Hey, all we can do is ask to to share, follow, subscribe, like. That's what it's all about, baby. Sam Houston to the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to our final segment of episode 4 of the Sam Houston Sports Talk Podcast. And it was a very controversial time for a little bit, for a day. Probably still is, but Sam Houston, not the athletics department, but the school, announced new branding, and we'll flash it up on the screen for those watching on YouTube. Luke, what do you think of it? Should we bring back the Praise Thy Rant music?
We could with this one, maybe.
We could. I'm in charge of the editing, so I'll think about it.
Collin, I voiced my opinion on social media about it already. A lot of Sam Houston people, I think I had like 40-something likes. Last time I checked, it was 33, I think, but I think he got more. I just don't know what this is all about. I get modernizing the logo, Collin. I get updates, that type of thing. I mean, the old logo was old. Emphasis on old, all caps.
It needed to be updated.
It did, but this looks just like a. And I don't want to sound too harsh. It just kind of looks generic and cheap. I mean, when I saw it, Collin, it looked like the Nickelodeon logo type. I mean, you throw a little of that green slime, which is apparently a new accent color. I don't know what that means.
Jade.
I'm sorry. Throw a little of that jade slime on it, and we could run an advertisement for Nick. He's running football games, running for sports now, so maybe. But I'm just really confused about kind of. It feels like a spot where they could have done a whole lot more, and they just went super, super generic and simple.
Let's see. You got the SHSU orange. You got SHSU jade. So officially, it says that right here. I'm looking at it on the Instagram. Again, the photos will be up on for the viewers on YouTube. SHSU jade. So is jade now an official school color? I don't know. Then there's
it's under the accent color, so isn't it?
I don't know. It's kind of confusing. I see your comment though. It's at 35 likes. On the of course you commented under the school's Instagram. That's So a lot of people agree with you though, Luke. On the sentiment. They got sky, got lime, mustard, sand, denim, and stone.
Colin, if there's anything I know about colors, and I don't know much, Colin, but if you put orange and yellow together, Colin, it does not look good.
They go together on the rainbow though.
That's about the only place they do. Colin, if I'm walking down the street with an SHSU, if I'm walking out with the Sam Houston shirt and some yellow pants, I'm getting some funny looks at. And I would look at myself pretty funny too. I get that a lot of times with brands. It has to do a lot with other shirts to go, like logos and stuff to go on it. I get it. I understand that.
Merchandise.
Merchandise, yeah. But to me, it just doesn't feel good. I don't know. I'm just very meh about it.
Yeah. Well,
I think
that brings us to like another kind of a kind of a point is like it's the question that many are asking is like why?
it's a good question. And it's a very uh it's a fair question because Colin, this goes athletics and the university together. We talked about it before recording. How many different Sam Houston logos are there going to be on campus?
Um,
There's going to be the old SH, which is the old, you'll put it on there.
yeah, it's
There's
gonna
going to
be
be the,
laid
the
out.
new logo. There's going to be the old athletics uh, logo with the old paw, the blue. There's going to be the new logo, the new athletics logo. There's going to be the old alternate logo on campus places. There's going to be the university crest, the Sam Houston, and more that I'm forgetting.
And then don't forget the claws.
Clause. Colin,
So
that's
that's
what you
9.
call an identity crisis.
I think that there needs to be consistency throughout this whole thing. The problem is though, we're kind of circling around with this, but I'll mention it again. When I looked at the tennis facility, you know how those places around campus have those signs that displays the title of the location and what's there.
Yeah. The
It
real
had
estate sign.
Yes, it has the SH, the academic SH with the blue behind it. And I thought we were stepping away from blue. But no, it's right there.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, Colin. I you would think they'd have that it planned. You go on the football field, they had the old blue. Now that's no more. It's getting torn down. Now we don't know what's going to be there. The baseball complex, Colin, has the old logo.
Yeah.
They haven't changed that. That needs to be returfed too. At the Pritchett, you have the old SH, the old SH academic logo. Colin, what is that doing there now? We have Sam Houston Sport. ESPN Plus is there broadcasting games. That's old. I you you got to stick with something. It feels. I mean, everyone got confused with the last rebrand with the old S with the new athletic logo and the old one, and it never went over to the academic university side. Right? That was just the athletic. And you had people on Instagram and on Twitter saying, and LinkedIn, Facebook, why are we doing this? We just got a new logo. People don't understand where this is coming from, and neither really do I. I mean, I get it a little bit because I'm, just fixing to graduate. This doesn't make much sense, Colin.
Well, they did have to clarify on their social medias. Quote, the logo released today is the new institution or academic mark. The logos and colors for Bearcat Athletics are not affected by assets released. And that kind of spawns an inaugural segment I like to call "What the People Saying." So let's see what the people are saying. Let's see. You got T.McKay013 on Instagram that said, wasn't the logo changed just years ago? Yeah, let's see. Let's see. You got Jinko George. She says, please tell me that lime green will not be in the new stadium. Oh, man.
It is a great comment because everyone's thinking that.
Velia.Marie says that green is disgusting, has nothing to do with SHSU. Art major disapprove. Thumbs down emoji.
Nobody wants the mustard. Nobody wants. I want mustard on my hot dog. That's about it. Not on my clothes.
Alex J. Middleton says, I'm already looking forward to next week's rebrand.
I like that. That's funny.
903. Brandon says, who's in charge of this?
Fair point.
You got some positive ones. Love, amazing with fire emojis. I do agree with this comment by Ali.Kalin7. The color palette is way all over the place.
It is. It is. Collin, we had something good going there for a long time with orange, white, black, and a little bit of blue. If we want to do that, we had something good going.
And gray. We had a bit of gray going.
And gray. And they had the new and the new Sammy logo. The walk-in Sammy.
Sailor. I'm glad. And I love the new face on Sammy. I love that one.
Yeah, it's neat. It's different. For me, it's just confusing. It really is confusing and I don't know if there's just a lack of communication between athletics, IMC, integrated marketing, so that is the actual university, the president. Like, I don't know what's going on.
And they did say that this was to more try to be closer to athletics, but I still think there needs to be a more distinguishable way between the institution and athletics. I do think though that the university is going in the right direction one way or another in buying in more to athletics, because that's what builds school spirit, is the athletics, the sports, mainly football and basketball and baseball as well. In high school, where did everyone go to showcase school spirit? Athletic events, just like football. And if you buy more into athletics, that builds school spirit, and so that way you wouldn't face I like to call it the commuter school allegations. Just the commuter school allegations. I mean, at the end of the day, it could be still just still a commuter school, but you can still be a commuter school, in my opinion, and still have school spirit and have fans show up to the games. And a lot of people were dogging on the midweek games for football, but what a lot of people don't realize is that is a good way it is easier for students that usually go home on the weekends to stay at Sam Houston, that stay at Sam Houston over the week, to be able to go to the games easier. Yes, it's on a work night, so I get that, but they're on national TV. You get more exposure nationally and get more money from the TV deals.
By the way, it's not 110 degrees out there when you're watching it. All of us students understand that sucks when you're just sitting out there and baking, watching your team like this year lose, which was really rough, watching us just fall apart at the end of games. But at least it was cool when we were watching it. It wasn't 110 degrees. It was night games, Con. We've been asking for night games for years and years and years. We finally got some. And then people start complaining about it. Don't complain about when you got something good.
Gonna be on national TV, you know.
What more could Sam Houston want? What more could we want? The great thing about what's going on right now, Collin, is that there is a emphasis on wanting to win. I see that coming fruition department wide. any sport. The only sport that I've seen us not be able to win at is softball. That's a whole another can of worms. But like you've seen where this administration, they make a lot of, and granted, a lot of things have been in-house. But when they hired coaches, when they make hirings, it's gone well.
You said that we possibly have some of the best coaches.
I actually think we do. I actually think we do because I think I rate very highly Coach Mudge. People are kind of all over the place on Keeler. He's a 2-time national champion.
He has a lot of wins for a reason.
And a lot of wins for he's won a lot of games. You look at head coach Jay Sirianni. Sirianni's been really good for Sam Houston for the past however many years, 20.
He's been here for years. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Sonia Cavallo, the soccer coach. She's been very good since joining. She gets better and better every year.
Dave Self.
Kieschnick for golf. Awesome. We've been awesome. Bowling, we've been awesome. I mean, you see it all the way around. We just need an identity to come together with I don't know the branding. I don't know what it is called.
It's We Are One. That's the new slogan that
We are one with 20 different logos.
I'm sorry, that was pretty funny.
I mean,
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that.
One athletics logo or two, however many athletics logos you want, but the university itself has a bunch. We got to figure that out, Collin.
I mean, I did say it like it is, in one way or another, saying a lot that Sam Houston. I won't get too much in detail about this thought, but it is really something that Sam Houston, for the position it is in right now, that it gets the players it gets.
I completely agree.
It says a lot, and we'll probably go in more further detail on what I meant, what I mean. Again, our criticisms are not to offend anybody. We think our criticisms are fair. Me as an alum, someone that has worked at Sam, one that has, like I said, graduated, Luke, with you, one that has gone to games, called games on 90.5, has seen a lot of stuff happen, and as one that is about to graduate, I think our criticism. I think our criticisms are fair, and but there are people that criticize athletics in school on the internet all the time, but that just shows, Luke, that there is a passionate fan base that is possibly growing right now, because we're starting to get more burner accounts for Sam Houston Sports. There's some accounts that are growing. We got a sidelines page now. Cat
fans is always that forum is always active.
Mm-hmm.
There's always things and new threads going on. Collins, people care. We care. We criticize because we care. And not only have we gone to the school, you graduate, I'm fixing graduate, but we know there is potential there. I mean, there's real potential with Sam Houston. The location, being next to the Piney Woods, the hills, it's very pretty. Huntsville is a growing town. The prisons are
historical.
Very historical. 1879, right? I mean, we're one of the 3 oldest colleges in Texas. I mean,
I don't know. We're named after the guy that gave Texas its freedom and to become its own country. Yeah,
first president of Texas, first and third.
Yeah,
Collin, who was the second? Who was the second president?
Marabou B. Lamar.
Right, that's right.
Who is known to have screwed everything up.
Well, Sam had to come back.
Well, not everything. He did do some good things, but
Father of Texas education, Marabou B. Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Granted land for UT and A&M, I think.
And may have screwed up relations with the Native Americans, but we're not a historical podcast. We are Sam Houston Sports Talk. That will do it for episode 4. Man, we have really gone on for a very long time. It is 12:23 in the morning on June 29th, Saturday morning. Hey, Sam Houston Sports Talk after dark. I love it.
Collin, I gotta get to sleep, man.
Yeah, we
That's
got
my
sleep.
bedtime.
Yeah. Oh, you still got a bedtime.
I do. I gotta have my beauty rest.
Okay, that's fair. That's totally fair. Well, don't know when this podcast will go out. Probably literally Saturday or Sunday, maybe Monday, but we'll see. But whenever you are listening to this, be sure you like this podcast and subscribe to us on YouTube. And once again, follow us on all of our social media outlets. That was Luke Scott. I'm Collin Neill. As always, eat 'em up, cats. We'll see you on the next episode of the Sam Houston Sports Talk podcast. This is Sam Houston Sports. Good night. Have a good one. This has been a podcast from Sam Houston Sports Talk. Any tweets, videos, or pictures used in this podcast or any other videos are used for journalistic purposes. Copyright infringement is not intended. Music was provided by and purchased from Infraction Music. This is Sam Houston Sports Talk, your home for all the Bearcat talk.